So in this video, I'm going to go over some of the new changes that have been made to the Relevant Furniture Technology website. At this time, hopefully you've already had the chance to review the first video so that you know the basics of how to log in and essentially be able to reach the dashboard, the backend dashboard to the website. So the first thing I want to go over is one of the changes that have been done to the website is that now we are able to add 3 more essentially sub menu items to the right hand side of the home page. In order to do that, all you have to do is go to the dashboard. We'll go to content areas and we will select homepage / lines right of slider. We'll click on edit, and if you see code, all you have to do is go and click on the visual tab. This will give you the visual mode. That tends to be a lot easier for most people, and essentially add in our new submenu. So I'll just do product 1, product 2, and product 3, knowing that we can add up to 3 more products, so for a total of 10 items. I will make these into a hyperlink because these are all submenu items that will link to somewhere. And to do that, I'll highlight the word and I'll click on link, and I'm just gonna basically just randomly click on any page on the site. So this product 2 will go to tables, and product 3 will go to workstation. I'm going to click on update, and I'm going to refresh the page, and we should see that these menu items now work and now show up. So that's how you add the new submenu items to the right hand side of the home page. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this just because they are dummy data, and click on update just so that we are back to what we started. Perfect. So the next thing I wanted to go over, which is basically the major component that's been updated on the site, and that's the ability to create new product submenu items down here. So for the purpose of demoing, I am going to create another subcategory, and it's going to be for doors, metal doors, and one for wooden doors. So let's go ahead and create those subcategory pages. So I'm going to go to pages. I'm going to click on add new, and I'm going to create a new page called let's do metal doors. And here I'm going to basically put in some dummy data just so that it fill up the page with some sort of content, make it as realistic as possible. So I'm just going to add a couple of fake paragraphs there, paste it here. I'm going to click on publish, and I am going to add another subcategory called wooden doors, and I'm going to add in some fake paragraphs. And go ahead and publish those. And now, as you can see, if I refresh the page and I go to products, they still don't show up. So just because you add new pages does not necessarily mean they're going to show up in the menu. So what I need to do next after I create my pages is go to appearance and click on menu and assign those pages to the menu. So I see over here that there's wooden doors and metal doors. These are the 2 pages I just created. So I'm going to click on add to menu, and then I'm going to scroll down just because they always add it at the bottom. And essentially what I'll do is I'll click and drag it over so that it's under products and it's indented in. And since I want these 2 to be at the bottom of the menus, I'll just attach it to the bottom. But of course you can put it anywhere you want. So let's say I wanted metal doors to be the second item in the menu, so I'll just click and drag it there. But in any case, I'll just click on it. I'll click and hold and just put it towards the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and save the menu. And now if I refresh the page, they should show up in the submenu. So when I click on metal doors, for example, I'll go to the metal door page. What I want to do next is essentially, and let's open up a new tab just so that we can compare what's still missing to the category page and start filling it out. So if I click on seating, which I know is filled out, we have a slider over here. We also have the submenus on the right hand side, as well as we have content. We have the paragraph, which is here. Now I didn't create the I didn't create the headings, but if you watch the first video, you'll know how to create headings. But I also want to create this gallery here. So let's go ahead and do that for metal doors. So the next thing I want to do is I'll go back to the backend dashboard, and let's create the slider first. So the sliders are under Siliquai. So I'm going to click on Siliquai, and I'll create a new slider. If I want to repurpose a slider that already exists, all you have to do is copy this shortcode, and I'll show you where to paste that shortcode. In any case, we'll create a new one just because we don't have one for metal doors. So I will create add new, and let me just click on back. Let's see how. Okay, so everything's in caps. So for organization purposes, I will capitalize the title. So metal door slider. So this slider is specifically for the metal door subcategory page. Next thing I want to do is I will grab an image from my desktop, and I'll just click and drag and have it upload. Now the image size is important. I want to ensure that it takes up this much space, and the dimensions for that particular image is 901 by 397. So it's 901 width and 397 height. So I've already created a couple of test images of that dimension. So I'm going to put it there. I'm going to click and drag. Now if I have multiple images and I want it for it to be a slider, just continue and drag and drop as many images as you want. So as for demo purposes, I'll drag this one down, and of course I can reorganize the way that they should show up, and that's essentially it. If you don't want this to be a slider and basically just be a still image, well, the Siliquai plugin is smart enough that if it's just one image, it won't rotate. It will just be a straight image, just like I believe the contact page is like that. And I believe the news pages might be like that. There's not one for news, but at least the contact page is just one image. Now this does look to be a different dimension. Let's find out what the dimensions for that is. Just give me a second. That looks to be, it is 901 by 397, so it is the same dimension. It just looks a little bit bigger, but apparently it is 901 by 397, so that's good. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and publish this. And then the most important thing is I want to grab the shortcode. So the shortcode is this part right here, Siliquai ID equals 465. I want to include everything from bracket to bracket. And I'm going to copy that into my clipboard. Another way to get this is if you go to Siliquai and essentially just grab this shortcode here. And what we want to do is we want to take that shortcode and now put it on the metal door page. So let's go to pages again. And I'm going to click on edit metal doors. And I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, and it's going to ask for the slider shortcode, which here is where I would paste in the shortcode I got from the Siliquai plugin. I'm going to click on update, and what we should see is a slider of two images that will show up right above this text. So let's go ahead and refresh, and there you have it. So that's how you would add in any sliders. The next thing I want to do is, well, actually, I want to go over the Siliquai one more time. You could always repurpose any of the sliders that were done on other pages if it makes sense. The reason why I created a new one this time was just because there wasn't one for metal doors, and I wanted a slider for metal doors. But if you were creating a lot of subcategories that basically are all the same type, then, for example, if they were all stir products, then I would just, copy and paste the Siliqua ID 168 on all the stir subcategories. So that's a little tip there. The next thing I want to do is I want to create products for the meta doors. I believe this is how the owner of the website wants to basically design the site. Is essentially we have a subcategory. So for example, we have meta doors, and then within meta doors on the right hand, when they click on this, it comes to this page, and then on the right hand submenus, they might have options for different types of meta doors. So one for blue and maybe one for gray. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a blue metal door page and a gray metal door page. So I'm going to go to pages. I'm going to click on add new, and I'm going to do blue metal doors. And let me go and grab some more fake content. Just give me a second. I'm going to paste it there. I'm going to click on publish. And I'm going to click on and create a gray metal doors page. Let's have this be this one. Click on publish. And again, if I refresh the page, they're not going to show up in either the menus here or the submenus here. I still have to assign those pages to those menus. But the first thing I want to do is for organization purposes, and this is absolutely optional, but I think it will benefit from to be organized in the future for maintenance purposes, is right now under pages we have the blue metal doors and the gray metal doors, but they should theoretically be indented within metal doors, and metal doors should be indented within lines. How, essentially how they're organized in the menus. Right now they're kind of like they're kind of treated as parents. So the first thing I want to do is I want meta doors to have a dash in front of it, just so that it's indented within lines. So what I'll do is I'll check meta doors and I'll do quick edit, and the parent is going to be in lines. And this may be a better way to visualize what this is trying to do, but essentially we have lines, and within lines we have all of these pages. So now we want to add meta doors to that. So I'm going to click on lines and update, and I'll also do it for gray metal doors. Or no, I want to do that for wooden doors. So let's try to find where that is. So in the wooden doors, I'm going to click on quick edit and do lines and click on update, so that now within the lines we have wooden doors and we also have metal doors. And in here it's in alphabetical order. There is a way to reorder this, but it's probably not worth the time to spend to figure that out. As long as they're, proximity wise, they're indented within lines. Next thing I want to do is I want to have the gray metal doors and the blue metal doors to be indented within metal doors. So what I'll do is I'll click on quick edit for blue metal doors and set the parent to metal doors. Click on update. And then for gray, quick edit, and then if I go to parent and click on metal doors, click on update, and I'm going to go ahead and refresh the page. So within here we have metal doors within lines, and then within metal doors we have blue metal doors and gray metal doors. If I do a quick edit just to kind of see how it looks like in the menus, well, we have lines, we have metal doors within lines, and then we have blue metal doors, but it looks like the gray metal doors are not within the metal doors. So let's see what's going on there. Let's see, gray, cancel out of that. Yeah, it should be. Let's take a look one more time. Refresh again just to make sure. Yeah, I am not seeing it, and I should. Maybe we should assign an order. So order 1, let's update that. And click edit that and do order 2. And let's try refreshing the page. Maybe there is a glitch with WordPress and doesn't allow us to do that. Or at least shows up here. Alright, so I guess we won't be able to make it show under these drop down menus, but at the very least, you're very rarely going to look at this drop down menu. The most important aspect is that when you go to pages, you can easily see your pages organized the way you want it to. Now, of course, this is for organization purposes. It is optional. Just because I organize it correctly in the pages in the back end of WordPress does not necessarily mean they're going to show up in the menu. And with this template, there's only 2 tiers. You have the top tier, which is this part, and the bottom tier. There's no way to have it, as of right now, to have the wooden doors or the blue metal doors and the gray metal doors to kind of come out again. That will be done by going to the metal doors category page and then selecting the blue metal doors or gray metal doors over here. So let's create this right-handed side sub menu. So to do that, what we'll do is we'll go to content areas and we'll create a new menu, a new right of side menu. So I'm going to copy this just for organization purposes. Click on add new, and I'll create metal doors. Paste what I just have. So we got metal doors, right of slider. And then I'll click on publish. Next thing I want to do is I want to create a bullet point list, and that's done by clicking on the 4th icon, which is the bullet list creation icon. You'll create the dot, and let's say I type in, let's do blue metal doors and gray metal doors. And I mean, with the submenus, you can give it any title you want. It doesn't matter what the pages is called. So let's say I just do, let's say I wanted to say blue doors and gray doors. I could do that. I want these to be hyperlinked because they will be submenus after all. Hyperlink that, and I want the blue one to go to the blue metal doors page, and the gray one to highlight the gray metal doors page. Okay. Now, just because I created the right-handed menu does not mean they're going to show up in the page. I now need to assign those menus to the page. So to do that, you would go to Appearance, and you would go to Themes, and then, you go to Appearance, and then you go to Widgets. And then within Widgets, there's a sidebar tab or opening. What you want to do is you want to click on Content. You want to drag a content area, and you just drag it to the bottom. The content that we want is the metal doors, : right of slider. We leave all of that, the default. And what we want to do is we want to show the widget for everybody, but instead of hide on checked pages, we want it to default to hide on all pages, but instead show on certain pages. And the pages that we want it to show up on is, as of right now, I want it to show up only on the metal door page. So show on checked pages, make sure that's the one selected, and I will basically search for metal doors, which is this one. And it's a good thing that we have everything organized because it's easier, because later on we would want this particular menu to show up on the blue metal doors as well as the gray metal doors, but we'll wait for that. We'll just do one thing at a time. So I'm going to click on Save, and now if I go to the metal doors page, should have our right of side widget, and it's not. So what is going on? Let's see. show unchecked pages, metal doors. Okay, click on save here. Make sure the right one's checked. Show unchecked pages, metal doors. Okay. Let's see if I'm missing something. Alright, so I figure out why it's still not showing up. The one thing I forgot to mention when creating these pages is that the type of page that Alright, so I made a mistake. Instead of dragging the content areas over sidebar, what it really should be is sidebar top. So I'm going to drag that over to sidebar top, put it towards the bottom. Make sure everything's good. So everyone and show unchecked pages. Make sure it's checking the right one. Click on save. Refresh the page, and now they're showing up. The other thing that I also didn't realize is for the soliloquy, when I create the metal door slider, under config, which is the second tab, I want to specify the specific dimensions. So I was right that the fact that the contact page did look a little bit bigger, which was true. And that's because the dimensions were set on the slider. So I want to definitely put in, not only are your images supposed to fall within the same height, but the slider dimension should also be the same height as well, which is 901 by 397. So, I apologize. So when you create a new slider, we'll do this again. We'll do one for wooden doors. This time we'll do it the correct way. But remember to go to config, set the dimensions, click on update, and now we should have the correct page for the subcategory. So if I go to metal doors, this is what we get. And if I click on blue doors, it will go to the blue door page, blue metal doors page. And then for gray doors, it'll go to the gray metal door page. Well, let's make sure that those pages are adjusted appropriately, just so that we can definitely see what we're doing. So I'm going to go to blue metal doors, and I'll type in blue metal, give it a H1 heading. That may be a little bit too big. Let's do H3. Go pages again. Let's update the gray metal doors. Update that. So this time, if I do blue doors, got blue metal doors, and then for gray, got gray metal doors, and just for kicks, we will also modify the metal doors page. I'm gonna call it main page, even though it's a subcategory, just to kind of hit home, make it obvious. So let's go straight to the home page. We go to pages, we go to metal doors. Here we got the metal doors home, the main page, and then if we go to blue, now it's the blue metal doors, and we click on back, it's the gray. So that looks good. So what we want to do here is, so for the blue metal doors, well, we definitely want these side menus to show up for both the blue and the gray doors, just because they're within the same category. So that's easy to do. Let's do that first. So we'll go back to appearance, we'll go to widgets, go to side top bar, go to my last one, that's where I placed it, and the metal doors right of slider, that that submenu that we created, we not only wanted to apply the metal doors, but basically all the stuff, all the metal doors subcategories, the actual detail page itself. Click on save, and now if I refresh, okay, the gray doors are here. The menu's over here because we now need to add the sliders. So let's go ahead and add the sliders to these pages. So to do that, I'll go to Silicui, and let's say for the blue one, we'll just use the metal door slider. So it's going to actually have both. So it's going to basically be the same as the subcategory page. Let's do blue. Let's click on edit, and we'll paste our shortcode here. Click on update there. Good, shortcode on Silicui. Okay. So now if I go to, let's start over. So let's go to metal doors. We'll go to blue, and now it's got the same 2-page slider that we had on the main page, and now everything looks good. Got the categories there, we got the sliders there. So it's the same menu as the main page. For the gray one, let's just have it so that it only shows the gray doors. So to do that, it will create a new slider, but even though it's we're going to Silicui for slider, we'll just only make one image, and it's smart enough to not rotate. So this one will be metal doors gray metal door slider, and I'll just drag the gray one only. And this time I'll go to config and make sure to change it to 901 by 397. And click on publish and grab the ID from bracket to bracket. This time I'll go to pages. We'll go to gray metal doors and paste the shortcode in that shortcode section. Click on update. And now if I go to metal doors and I go to gray doors, now we just have, it's not rotating. The gray door only has one image, while the blue door shares the same slider as the main category page of both the blue and the gray. So far what we've done is we create a main category, metal doors and wooden doors, and then for metal doors we created 2 subpages under those. We also went through how to add these 2 to the main menu, as well as create the side menus and assign them to these not only the main page but also the subpages for those subcategories. So these 2, and showed how to do the sliders, as well as a static image that doesn't rotate. The next thing we want to do is, like seating, we want to create these little galleries here, but this time we'll do it for the metal doors, and we'll do it for the main page. And you can put it in any of the pages you want. You could even have it for the blue and the gray. Let's say for the gray doors you have different shades of gray. The way to do it's all the same, but for now we'll just do it on the main page, the metal doors. So first thing we want to do is we'll go to Foo Gallery, and we will create a new gallery, and we'll do metal doors gallery. And I'm going to grab a couple sample images that I have and just drag and drop it into this area here. Oops, let's stay on this page. Actually, I might have to click on add media, and then I can drag and drop. I have 4 images. I'll drag and drop all 4, and they're just random screenshots of the background that I have. Do add media, and of course you can always rotate any way you like. There are a couple parameters that we do need to set though. So for gallery template, we want to do a simple portfolio, We want it to have a custom URL for each of the thumbnails. These little images will have a custom URL. And we want to make sure it's 250 by 200. So that's good. And now we'll grab the shortcode. Similar to the Siliqua, I want to grab the shortcode. That's always important. I'm going to click on Publish. And now we go to Pages. And we go to our Metal Door main subcategory page. After our content here, we'll just paste our shortcode in here. Let's click on Update. And once it updates, it looks a little bit better. And now if we refresh the main door subcategory page, we should have our gallery. So perfect. So we have a gallery here that when click on, as of right now, opens up an image, but we can modify that so that it works similarly to what we have on the seedings page. So let's open that up just for comparison. So we have a title and we have some captions. Perfect. So let's add those for each of these images. So what I want to do now is, in order to do that, we'll have to go to Media. And we'll click on the image that we want to modify. So let's say this one here. This one's sample 3, but what does it show up under? S3? Okay. Let's try to do the first one first. So that's the purple one. Okay. Of course, we did change the rotation around. So let me fix the rotation so it makes more sense. So I'm going to go back to Foo Gallery. I'm going to click on Edit. I believe this one was first, then second, third, fourth. Okay. Let's click on Update. And of course, when I update that, it will reflect. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to go to Media now. And I'm going to click on the first image, which is this one. Yeah, sample 1. Perfect. The title doesn't really make a difference. That's for SEO purposes. The caption is what's going to show up as this. So I'm going to type in sample 1 title just to ensure that that's the correct one. And description is essentially this part right here. So I'll do sample 1 description. I'm going to click on, I think it auto saves if I click on a different text box. So if I type in dot, be aware of this there will be a circle indicator saving right here. So make sure you see that before leaving this page. So I'm going to type in a dot, and I'm going to click somewhere else. And there you go, say save. Perfect. So I know that's saved. So just remember when you're finished typing, don't just close the tab. Unfortunately, there is no save button here to make it more, to make it easy. So just remember to just click somewhere else, just so you get the saving indicator. So like so. Perfect. And now if I refresh the page, we see we have the title, we have the description. Now let's try to make those into a link. To make it a link, you're going to have to do some coding, but hopefully not too bad. So the title is in the caption. I know it's kind of weird that the title is, even though it shows up the title here, it's not the title field, it's actually the caption. But as long as you know that little trick, you'll be fine. So the two tags that you'll need is essentially this part right here, open bracket A space href equals, and then in quotes is basically where you want to target, and then close bracket. And then after your text, you'll want to do open bracket / A close bracket. And here, let's say to make it simple, I'm just going to have it go to yahoo.com. And to make things easy, I'm going to copy that tag and I'll put in the description. And I'll just type in the closing brackets or closing tag. And here, I'll have it go to hotmail.com. And there is no save button. I naturally will try to find a save button, but I'll just click somewhere else just so that I get that saving indicator. And now these two should be links. So perfect, they are. So this one goes to Yahoo. And the description goes to Hotmail. Perfect. Right now, it'll just go to that page. But let's say you wanted to open up a new tab when somebody clicks on it. Well, that's easy as well. All you have to do, and I'll just do it just for the title. After the quotes, I'll type in target equals, and then in quotes, underscore blank, and then closing quotes. Click somewhere else so it's saved. Refresh the page, and now if I click on title, it's going to actually open up Yahoo in a different tab. So there you go, new tab open. Perfect. So you'll just repeat this process of modifying the caption and the description for each of the images. So for image 2, image 3, and image 4, and so forth. So that's how you how do you create the gallery and then update the gallery so that you can have title and descriptions and make those hyperlinks if needed. So let's I think that covers everything. Now the blue doors and the gray doors won't have the gallery, but if you do want it on these pages, all you have to do is copy the shortcode. So let's just do it for one of them. So I'm gonna go to metal doors just because I don't remember what the shortcode is. Look at the code. Just grab the shortcode here and go to all pages again. Leave this page. Let's do it for gray metal doors. Click on gray, and at the bottom of the content, paste the shortcode, which when I save it does look better. Perfect. So now if I go to gray doors, we'll also have the gallery here as well. Might not make sense to use the same gallery as the category page. Maybe gray doors have its own Sitaquai gallery, but you already know how to do that. It's the same process. So let's kind of repeat everything just so that it kind of hits home. We'll do something similar with the wooden doors. So as of right now, wooden doors, if I go to it, it's just a blank wooden door page. We'll need to add the sliders. We'll also need to add the side menus, and we'll probably have to make some fake wooden door pages. So let's see what we can do first. Let's make the fake wooden door pages first. So I'll go to all pages. I'll do pages, and this one will be oak, and I'll just do oak. Just make it easy. I'll click on publish. We'll also do cedar. I'll type in cedar so that we know we're on a cedar page. And last one, let's just do plywood. I don't know if that's that's a type of wood, so we'll do plywood. Click on publish. For organization purposes, I want the cedar, plywood, and oak to essentially be under wooden doors, just so that's easy for organization purposes. So for cedar, quick edit, and then we'll assign it under wooden doors, update, and then find oak. Perfect. Parent is going to be wooden doors, update, and plywood. Assign it to wooden doors. Perfect. And just to double check our work, I'm just going to go back to pages again and refresh, and we have wooden doors, we have cedar, oak, and if I go to page 2, this one will be indented in as well, so plywood. So perfect. So yeah, we create our fake pages. Next thing we want to do is we will create the slider for these pages. So I'll go to, let's close some of these tabs, it's kind of redundant. We'll go to Siliquai, and we'll create a new slider. I'll call it wooden doors slider. And I do have a sample wooden door slider image. Drag and drop it into there. Go to configuration. Make sure it's 901 by 397. I only have one image, so this will just be a static image. Grab the shortcode, and now go to pages, and I will put it into the category page. Click on update, and since I only have one copy or one slider, I'll apply this wooden door one to all of them. So I'm going to go ahead and go to all pages again, and I'll do cedar and paste the same shortcode there. Go to all pages again, and I'll do it for oak. And lastly, do it for plywood. And I think that's on page 2. Good. Plywood, add it. Alright. Update. And if I go to the wooden page or wooden door category page, I have my my image. And of course, this is the correct image. It's just a blank white image that I created. So this is what the image is. So probably should have picked a better image. So it's just one image with a white background. So it looks like it's not complete, but it is. And you'll see once the menu's in place, it'll still fall in place. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and create the submenu for the wooden doors. So go to content areas, and I'm just gonna copy some of this, and I'll do wooden doors, and then paste right of slider, create a bullet point, and we had cedar, that's cedar, oak, plywood, and we'll make these into hyperlinks that go to the correct page. So cedar goes to cedar, oak will go to oak, plywood would definitely go to plywood, and let's go ahead and publish that. And the next thing we want to do is we want to assign this right-handed side menu to the appropriate pages, which would be the main pages as well as these 3 pages, cedar, oak, and plywood. That's done through appearance. We'll go to widgets and grab content areas. Let's expand this. We'll grab content area, drag it here, and automatically we'll select the correct content, which is wooden doors, right of slider. If you don't get the right one, then there's a drop-down menu for you to choose. In any case, this is good, shows for everybody, and it's gonna hide by default, but show only on the selected pages. So show unchecked pages. And now, because we did our organization, it's going to be pretty easy. It's going to be under wood. It's going to be here, and our pages are going to be this one, wooden doors, subcategory page, cedar, oak, and plywood. Let's see. Perfect. Click on save. And now, if I refresh the wooden door main page, we have cedar, oak, and plywood. And these will have the same submenus and the same slider because we already went through and did that. So if I go cedar, perfect, this is the cedar page. Now this looks a little off probably because there's not enough content. So maybe you should have did some fake content. But oak would work and plywood would work. So let's go ahead and just fill out some fake content. We'll also add a gallery so that you can kind of complete this lesson. You go to wooden doors. Just because I know there's fake content, so I'll just grab that. And we'll do it for cedar. Update that. Let's do it for oak. And we'll do it for plywood. Fresh. So that's looking much better. So that's plywood, this is oak, and this is cedar. So that's looking pretty good. So last piece is for wooden doors. We'll create something like seating where it has a little gallery here. So we'll go all pages. Let me just make sure we're on the wooden door page. Perfect. And then what we want to do is we will then create a Foo Gallery. And we'll create a new gallery called Wooden Doors. Or Wooden Door Gallery. For a gallery template, we do simple portfolio. Make sure it's 250 by 200, so that's good. Custom URL there. And we should be good. So we should upload some images. Let me see if I can get some more fake images. Alright, so I'm gonna click on Add Media, and I'm gonna add 3 screen wallpaper images, and then let's click on Add to Media, and that looks good. I'll click on Publish, and for Foo Gallery, I want to grab that ID, which is 500. I don't think there's actually 500 galleries. I don't know how they assign the numbers. Might be a reference to the database, but in any case, this gallery is ID 500. I'll go to Pages. I'll go to Wooden Doors, and I'll click on Edit. And at the bottom of the content, paste that. Paste the shortcode, which once I update, looks a little bit better. And now if I refresh the main page, now we got our, essentially these would be your product lines, but we got our gallery. And now I want to edit one of them, basically repeat the same process over and over. Let's say I want to edit the middle one. Let's give that a title and a hyperlink and so forth. So go to Media. And I think that's the second one. Good. And again, I keep forgetting. Yeah, it's the caption and description that matters. So I'll just give it title. Oops. Title. And this is the description. Oops. And then to make it a hyperlink, which is optional, you don't have to make it a hyperlink, but for demonstration purposes, we'll make the title a hyperlink. We'll just have this go to google.com. We'll also have it open up a new tab by doing target equals, and in quotes, underscore blank, and click somewhere else so that we get the save indicator. Good. And then update, and now the title is a hyperlink to google.com that opens up a new tab. So essentially that's all the changes that have been made to the website. It allows you the flexibility to create a lot more submenu items under products, allows you to control what kind of sliders show up on the subcategory pages, as well as allows you to create a subcategory menu item, as well as controlling, being able to create a gallery and then assigning hyperlinks to them if you want those, the title or description linked to different places. For the home page, you are now allowed up to 10, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up to 10 different items. You're able to do that as well. So that's the upgrade.